Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't like it. I'm pretty sure we all heard the news. The Jordan 4 is potentially coming out with a leather version, and it's been killing me for the last couple days, and it's just been eating me up to the point that I just had to say something about it. But it's okay. This is not the first time Jordan Brand has ever done something like this. We've seen it in the past many a time. They always make big changes or small changes. Here's some of the few. I mean, where do you want to start? The first notable change was the Nike Air branding. It was always just Nike Air on these shoes. And then it switched to the Jumpman branding. And some people were upset about that. I'm gonna be real, it really didn't upset me. But I can understand the small changes. People like, keep it original, you know what I mean? It's a classic. Don't change what we liked about it. But I don't feel like it was a super big change, you know what I mean? We'll say this one though. I feel like my generation and the ones up and coming also after that was the Jordan 1. I wish I got to experience that Jordan 1 from the 90s and the 80s, the OG releases in the first retro, the 94. But I feel like after the 2001 release, I started collecting 2006. When I was coming up, I always loved Jordan 1s, but in the hood and just looking at sneaker collections back then, people gave two shits about the Jordan 1. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And it kinda makes you influence on not to buy the motherfuckers either. It was always the Jumpman branding on the Jordan 1, on the tongue, on the booty part. And I can admit, I didn't like them like that. I liked the few. It always kind of threw me off, I can honestly say. I still bought a few growing up, but it did. I can understand why what people was like, you know what? I don't like the Jordan 1, but I'm glad Nike did they went back to their roots in around 2013 and said, you know what, we're gonna drop a few Jordan 1s with the Nike Air branding, and people started to fall in love with it. I don't know, I feel like the Jumpman on the booty did make it seem a little ugly. I'm not gonna lie. It was over branding. But those are just small things compared to other. I think what made the biggest change was the Jordan 11 with the snakeskin in the early 2000s. Whatever they were doing in the 2000s, it definitely threw a couple people off, but also grew a couple fans as of myself. Like, I love everything from back then. I own a lot of stuff from back then, but a lot of people weren't too fond about the snakeskin Jordan lows that dropped in the early 2000s. I want to say around 2001, 2002, around that time period. It was a hit or miss. Some colors was cool, some was okay. They dropped some different color pattern leathers also. They went away from that black route and just the white route. And I enjoyed the early 2000s. I just didn't like when the snakeskin, when they kind of rejuvenated around 2014, 15. The green ones was cool. They wasn't so bad, but it's just the quality dips way down to the point it was like, nah, I can't do it. Like, have y'all ever compared the original snakeskin 11s to the current? The new ones don't even look like snakeskin at this point. So that was just a major change that they did with the Jordan 11. But that wasn't the last change either. I'm just keep it real. Jordan 11 should always be patent leather, not the IEs. We know the IEs are like the different version, but if you're doing your actual Jordan 11 shape, keep it patent leather. They always look weird to me. I feel like the ladies get the worst of it. They always drop a Jordan 11 and suede around with the holidays. Those are trash. You cannot convince me. I've never seen one that was convincing enough. Like, you know what? I want to cop them. I'm part of small feet gang. I can buy women's sizes, but if nothing has convinced me to be like, I need those. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They was shitty. But also there's others. Sometimes Jordan Brand want to mix it up. They want to add some flavor to their OGs. The most iconic one I can always say that always kind of just blew me, or I was just upset about it, was the Jordan 12 flu games. The 2009 version to this day hurts my heart because I was a young collector. I'm 3 years in the game, and then I remember reading blogs back in the day, Sneaker News, Nice Kicks, and seeing that the flu games was finally getting a retro. Just from the 2003 release and 2009 release, I was excited. And then when they finally released the pics, it was suede. Like, I was so upset to the point I was like, There's some bullshit. I was trying my best to get the 2003 version because that is the one, or the 96 version. The 2009 version, it had mixed reviews. Some people was upset. Some people liked it. I was one of the ones that didn't like it. But over time, I would honestly say it grows on you, and it grew on a lot of people. And they okay. They not the worst, but I still prefer the OG. But it's a solid retro. And it's not just Jordans. I'ma die on this hill. Them changing the Foamposite recipe was some of the worst decisions they ever did. It wasn't just the graphic route. The graphic route I hated to this day. It was only a few that was acceptable. Fighter jets, the camos. I don't like the Weathermans, but I'll pass them. The Paranormals was fire. We know about the Galaxy. And then when they overly started saucing it, that's when it started going downhill. Foamposites started coming out with jean Foamposites, suede Foamposite. It was a mess. I think I seen some people start customizing them into cork Foamposite. It was a mess. That's cool. That's a custom. I'm not really tripping about that, but it's just the fact, like, okay, this Foamposite wave is going crazy. It was certain point in time they stopped using Foamposite material and just started coming out with these either tacky colorways or just graphic Foamposites that was like, these are hideous, these are ugly. And that is why I'm gonna continue to say, this is why the Foamposite is dead. This is why the kids don't take it serious. They never got to witness what a fucking real Foamposite looks like. This is a Foamposite, y'all. A perfect Foamposite. Keep it 1 or 2 colors icy sole. The sole ain't even gotta be icy, but use the Foamposite material. When y'all make it go left, that's when it becomes trash. Stop touching the Foamposite, please. Like, I want the Foamposite. I want these kids to experience the Foamposite like we experienced the Foamposite back in the day. These kids are calling Foamposite Migos shoes, or they don't wear them because it ain't no hype. It's not about the hype. They don't even appreciate them. It hurts my heart that the Foamposite has went this route, and it needs a rejuvenation. And hopefully these releases this year make it come back. I'ma say it again. We almost got one of the best releases of all time. I think this should have came out. I wouldn't mind this. Yes, I don't think it'll ever be better than the OG, but this sample Jordan 3 Black Cement Suede is fire. Like, I'm not gonna even hold you. It arguably, I might take some flack for this. This is arguably better than the OG. I'm not gonna lie. If they came out with these, I would have been like, okay, these is fire. They're not better than the OG, but I will say this: they definitely fire, and they definitely should release them. I don't know why they kill me with the sample. I can ramble all day about samples, but release these, Nike. Like, don't miss this opportunity, y'all. This is one of the best samples I've seen. It's just simple and clean, man. Release this shoe. I don't know what y'all think. Do y'all think Nike just going too far with this reimagine stuff? I agree. I'm over this cream shit and reimagine. Can we just get the regular Jordans, or just, like I said, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If this shoe came out every year, I will buy it every year. That's how much I love this shoe. But what y'all think about the Jordan reimagine stuff? Should they cut it out, slow it down, or just drop them? We need something new.